everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Angel Storm. I'm the founder of Ashes to Beauty Ministries, and I'm doing a little bit of a different video than what I normally do for this channel. So if you don't like it, don't worry, your regular video will be on this channel on Friday. But I wanted to really just take some time to share with you something that was super impactful for me, and I think it's really going to help you in your recovery process as well. So I love to read. I believe the old adage that leaders are readers and readers are leaders. So I read about 50 books a year, and I just finished reading this incredible book. It's called You Are Worth It. It's by Kyle Carpenter. If you don't know who he is, he's the youngest living Medal of Honor recipient, and his story is just fascinating. He's an awesome human. You should definitely read this book. But in this book, he has a chapter called Don't Hide Your Scars, and that's really what this video is about. This chapter was so good to me, and it really resonated with everything that I believe in and exactly why I started Ashes to Beauty, actually. So I really encourage you to read it for yourself and see what kind of comes to you as you read it. But I was thinking about the way that being transparent with other people has really impacted my own healing and my own recovery process. I was first going through all of the court stuff with the narcissist. It was really traumatic, and I didn't know who to trust. I didn't know who I could talk to. But the more that I shared my story with people, the more people started coming to me telling me that that was exactly what happened to them, or that they knew somebody who had been in a similar situation. And I started to feel less isolated, less alone, less like there was no hope for my story. And by sharing my own story and letting people see the place that I had been wounded the deepest is how I ended up coming into my own healing. And so, you know, the story, how it goes, you know, a few years later, I started Ashes to Beauty, and now y'all are watching me on YouTube. So the process, though, of being transparent, it wasn't clear to me that that was going to be such a vital part of my healing. In fact, at my other jobs, I've always been giving you the facts, and just the facts, and how to use those facts, how to implement them, and what the outcomes of using those facts were going to be. And I never really got super good at letting people see my personal life or even my own opinions. And it's not that I didn't have them, it's just that I didn't really share them in all of the environments that I was used to working in. And so really allowing people to be drawn to me as a person, not as a position, was definitely very difficult for me to do, and it was super uncomfortable, and I wasn't really good at it, and I'm still struggling a little bit with it, and I recognize that this is going to be an ongoing journey. But the more transparent that I was with people, the more I was not only able to help them heal whatever situation was going on with them, but I also was able to kind of embrace my story a little bit deeper every time I let people see the places that had wounded me the deepest. So in the book, Kyle, obviously he can't cover up his scars. He's got scars everywhere in his body, and he can't wear something where none of them are visible. And so he was talking about how, because of that, it's allowed people to connect with him. The scars are essentially connection points to relate to people from all walks of life, whether it's other veterans or gang members or the guy who says hi to you at Walmart or little kids. So he just talks about the way that the scars are actually the connection point, because as humans, we all suffer. We've all gone through something that has changed our lives forever. And he's, throughout the book, he definitely emphasizes the fact that he isn't who he is, you know, in spite of his scars or because of his scars. They've led him to become way more, like, transcend everything that has happened to him, because you are more than the sum of what has happened to you. And especially when you've gone through something traumatic where not a lot of people might be able to relate to your specific experience or what you've gone through, or maybe you just don't have the right people around you, it all starts by being transparent and being willing to talk about your experience, regardless of how other people are going to take that information. So not all the time do I get on YouTube and people love my videos. I know it's hard to believe, but yeah, I get a lot of comments about people don't agree with it, people don't like it, whatever. And it ultimately doesn't matter, because what I'm trying to do is to reach people. Not everybody is going to be able to take help from the same person or at the same point in their life. And so I'm willing to keep doing the videos regardless of the feedback that I get, regardless of the opinions of others of me or of my videos. My worth has nothing to do with that. And I'm not trying to say that I don't take your opinions into account, because I try to answer your questions and take as many situations into account when I'm making these videos as possible. But there's also another point where I'm not willing to hide what I've been through because it makes other people uncomfortable, or because there's a possibility that somebody won't like it. And that's ultimately what Kyle talks about in this book. And so I just really wanted to encourage y'all today to get this book, to let your scars be seen. They've shaped who you are. Don't try to hide from your past. I know that we sometimes think that if I cover this up really quick, then it'll heal. But truth be told, at some point you have to take the bandage off, and all wounds need sunlight and air to heal. And so whatever you can do to start shedding light on your own wounds, you'll be surprised how quickly that exposure is going to bring about your healing. A lot of times our scars can actually point us to our purpose. The things that you've gone through should bear witness to the thing that you are about to enter into. And I'll never forget something that was so powerful. I was speaking with my pastors one day, just over a cup of coffee, not anything formal. And my pastor told me, he said, sometimes we have to be Jesus. Some of us are called to be Jesus to the Thomases of the world, the ones who doubt, the ones who can't see beyond the immediate point of where they're standing, the ones who are very hesitant to believe that something could ever change. And you need to let them put their hand into the point that has caused you the most pain so that they can find their healing. And, the scars of Jesus revealed what he had gone through, but also what other people could take from his experience. His experience healed other people. And a lot of us are called to do that. So even if you think, I'm not called to do that, I definitely was that person. I was happy with what I was doing. I wasn't really looking to go do anything else. But I recognize the fact that I've been through something that was so transformational, not just to myself or my children or my family and friends or whoever was in my immediate circle, but that I was able to start drawing all of these people to me who also had similar scars, or who were curious about what caused them, so to speak. So I hope that makes sense. So when I started doing that, again, as I shared, it was uncomfortable at first because I really didn't want people to look at the most painful part of my life, the thing that wasn't pretty, it wasn't perfect, where a lot of my story kind of had been before that. My life had pretty much been planned, to some extent, but I had always really gotten everything that I had set my mind to. And so I didn't want people to look at a place where I had initially felt like it was a failure. I didn't want people to see that part, but it was through that transparency that not only was it connecting me to other people, but it was really allowing me to embrace who I was. And I've talked about this before, but we're all human. And sometimes if you're used to just hitting excellence with every single thing that you do, you always reach your goals and you just smash your goals every single time that you set one. It can be really difficult when you aren't able to do that. And that is exactly what was happening to me, during the court process. And instead of accepting okay, I just can't be anything different, when I started to reveal that struggle and that hurt, that pain, and the, quite frankly, ugliness of my life, that was the thing that started allowing all of those ashes to become into something beautiful that other people could really find their healing in as well. So I know that that is true for so many people watching this video. I know that is true for a lot of you who have gone through horrific narcissistic abuse, who have lived through years and years of it. And your story is super important. Somebody else is going to find healing in your story. And not only that, you are going to heal through telling your story and through sharing your scars with other people. So there's two things that I want you to do after watching this video. First of all, go check out the description. You're going to find the link to Amazon so you can buy Kyle's book. I don't make any money from it if you buy it or not. I just get to enjoy being in a society with more healed people than there are broken people. And second of all, if you feel like perhaps you're called to help coach other people through the narcissistic abuse healing process, I would like to connect with you. I am just in the final stages of finishing up coursework to help other coaches, to help other people become life coaches, or to become small group leaders at your church or in your community center, so that there can be more and more of us who offer support, help, and guidance to those who are still in the middle of figuring out what to do next after they realize that they've been in a relationship of any kind with a narcissist. So if you think that you might be interested, please send me an email. You're going to find the instructions to do that in the description of this video as well. And finally, if you don't like this video, that's okay. I promise that you will have your regular narcissistic abuse informational help video on Friday. So don't unsubscribe from my channel. And in fact, if you aren't subscribed, click the little bell and get notified whenever I upload a new video to this channel. And I will see you for your regularly scheduled video on Friday.